Welcome back to another episode of Playing Parklife, and this city's name is still Las Rico, but I think we should name it something else. So if you have some suggestions, especially those of you who's actually watched it up to now, all of these many episodes, please let me know what you think about the naming for the city. I think we need to give the city a proper name, and it's getting a good shape now, so we can actually start thinking about that. In this episode, what I'm going to do is I'm hoping to expand our population a little bit more. But maybe first thing is first, it is for us to actually now do a nice big park over here. So that is the plan. We are doing a nice big city park over here. And I'm also almost keen to put a little bit of lake in here. Something like that. Something we can fill it up. I don't actually use the... I don't think I use the tools that I can use to... I don't have the tools to plop a water source in here or anything like that. That I don't have. I don't think I have it, at least. No, I don't have any of that. So, but we do have, I believe, a water, not a drain pipe, but the eco water outlet. Do we have something else that is just kind of a standard water outlet? Oh, I think this one, freshwater outlet. We've got a freshwater outlet here. Excess water in the system. It can be placed on dry land, create lakes and ponds, water evaporates. There we go. So the freshwater outlet is kind of what we have going for us. Okay, so let's see about this. So maybe first things first is let's plan this thing out a little bit. So go for the city park. I'm also a little tempted to maybe include some of these other park features in here. Could be cool, could be cool. Let's start off with saying where are our accesses going to be and what type of accesses are we going to do. Anything funny in here? Just some props and things and so on. So a main park gate. I was thinking over there, probably not over here. Probably not. Well, over here could work, but I'm thinking over here is the main park gate. We'll have gates all around, but over here, so that it can kind of line up with what we're doing over there. And it's not lining up nicely, is it? It certainly doesn't look like it'll line up with that at all. I'm not very fussed about it, but I would have liked it to line up a little bit better. So as we can see, it is a little bit of a problem already, this kind of thing. So what we'll do is I'm going to grab this thing and we're just going to line it up ourselves. There we go. That's much better. Perfect. What is this? Toggle the underground view. Okay, no fun. We won't toggle the underground view. But what we're going to do is we are going to use the terrain tools a little bit, because I'm tempted to put a little bit of a lake somewhere central, fairly central. So in order for us to do that, that's going... so in order for us to do that, I think what I'll probably do is I'll grab a lower level. Okay, look, something like over there. We'll grab a lower level over there. We'll get it a little stronger, and then we'll do a little bit of that. My goodness, that is very low. That is very low. We probably don't need all of that. That is very deep. Let's pick a level about halfway in, and we'll fill it out like that a little. Is that going to be our lake over there? That may still be a little deep, you know. But at least if it's deep like that, it will actually make we'll actually get it to we'll get it to not evaporate as quickly. All I want to do is actually make sure that we level around the edges, because if we don't do that, we're going to have difficulty with some areas being out of the water a little bit more than others and things like that. So if we try and level it a little bit more, You know, something like this. We'll try and level it a little bit more. I don't mind a bit of a peak over there. I think that's going to be pretty good. This is a little on the steep side, so I'm kind of wondering if we don't do a little something like that. Just a little bit, so that it kind of forms a little bit of a hill, a few pieces of terrain in here where people can actually have a few things, have a few buildings and so on and the likes. Probably need to run it out like something like so. I think that's fairly interesting. That should give us a little bit of starting room. Okay, now let's get back to the actual park. Now let's get a few park side gates, small main gates. So we need a few side gates. So let's grab the fact that I can't actually squeeze a side gate where I want it over here. Oh, not in a park. Hang on. That is our mistake at the moment. So let's just quickly grab the paint the park area. And let's start by kind of, oops, no. Oh. By doing that, so we can get the nice big one going on. And now let's create the big park piece over here. Like that. I'm almost tempted to extend it to the other side of this, to be honest. I am very tempted to do that. I think it'll be good to do that. Let's grab something a little tighter. Do that. I'm gonna add this roundabout over here into the park. We're gonna run it all the way down here into that section. Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way in here. This will all be part of the park. Even that central reserve potentially. That's good. This is part of the park. This is part of the park. That is part of the park. And there we go. So there we go. That's the park, Laurel Park. Maybe not quite that. So let's just kind of try and snap it to this road a little bit. There we go. So that's Laurel Park. That's what it's going to be. So let's grab some of this. Let's get the side gates going. So I want a side gate over there. I want a side gate somewhere over here. Okay, I want a side gate. Not sure this area is good for the side gate, but we'll definitely want a side gate somewhere over here. We could even do both edges, though I don't think that's important. We would do some form of side gates on both sides of this. That's not cool. Space is already occupied. Well, I don't really care. Something like that. So we can actually do a bit of a crossing there. Something like maybe, do we need a little bit more over here? Yeah, let's add a side gate there. Let's add a bit of a side gate over here. So we try and get a bit of side gate action all around. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just squeeze one in on this side also. So we've got a ton of side gates going on. Now, let's just switch off the Anarchy for a minute. And now let's have a look at how we're going to create our pathways. I'm kind of doing something like that. So that's a movement through there. Definitely want to run something along the lake over here and all the way over there. We're going to need to run a little something down here. Okay, and I'm kind of, if we do something like that, does that actually work? We'll see about fixing that at some point. What I'm definitely going to do is I'm going to try and run distance too short. Yeah, that's okay. Do a little something around that area. Even tie it in over there. Then I'm quite keen on us actually tying in something like this. That's okay. I think that actually works. Now we need to tie into this side. I'm tempted to do a little piece up over the top here and tie that in there. That looks pretty good. Okay, so the other one we're going to need to do is run around here and tie in over there. And how will we tie these together? So I'm thinking maybe a little something like that, maybe a little something like this, and even maybe a little something like that. Yeah, how's that for a park with a bit of action over here? We'll see about this, because I think we're going to do a bit of a pathway over here and a bit of an access point right there. It's pretty good. This section over here is a little steep though, so I'm going to see if I can't drop that down a little using mover, just a tad. I don't mind a steep piece. Okay, I don't mind it being a bit steep, so let's see how best we can give ourselves a little bit of room. There we go. I think that looks quite nice actually. Yes, I think that looks quite nice with the whole shape of everything over here. Okay, now let's see, what are we gonna oh, the thing we obviously need to do is, if I want to do this thing, shoreline recommended, slope too steep. Okay, so how? Okay, so if we do something like that, okay, I think that'll work. So now all I need to do is let's hook this up with some piping. Okay, so let's see, where's our closest pipe connection from here. Oh, we're gonna have to run some pipes through the park anyway, I believe. So we'll do some of that, and at the same time what we'll do is we'll tie this one in here. Okay, so now this thing should start running some water. Do I need to switch it on? Oh, it's not powered. Don't know why it needs power though. Okay, so let's go back and start building some stuff in the park. So we need a bit of a facility, and I think a bit of a plaza or something right over there wouldn't be too bad. Probably gonna need more than one, so we'll do one over there and maybe even one over here. Could do one right over there also. So I think that's, yeah, let's do, for good measure, let's add a bit of one. Let's add one. Actually, this is a bit of a hill, so probably not a good idea. Let's leave that be. Now let's get some park restrooms going. I'm thinking at the access points, so something like that, something like that. No, not quite what I wanted to do. Something like this one, something over here, something over there, little something there. Yeah, something like this maybe. Oh, that's a pretty steep one there too, and over here. And then we'll do a little bit of a central restroom. Okay, let's say something over there. Okay, there we go. Now, a park info booth. Again, we're going to try and do these at aligned with our accesses a bit more. Something like that. A little bit something over here maybe. That one maybe not. Maybe this one. There we go. Something over here potentially could work. There we go. So that's a little bit more of that going on. Now there's some park chessboards. Tempted to do a few of them. Like so. This area here is going to be a little tough given what's going on there. Maybe something in there. Nice. I think that's a good one. Now, the piers. So this is requiring a shoreline, but we're not at the moment. We don't have a shoreline created. So let's just start with a few gazebos to get things going through the park. Up here would be a good spot for a few of those. That's pretty good. Let's see about connecting those up a little. There we go. A few of these. Like that, maybe. Okay, see the other gazebo, so we mix and match it a little bit. Something like so. Tie in a few over here. Run in a few gazebos over there. Let's see about adding 1 or 2 over this side. We'll add 1 or 2 up here. Perfect. Squeeze in 1 or 2 more this way. Excellent. So there's a few gazebos going on. Now we could do some playgrounds. One there. One there. Something over there. This side's a little difficult. We'll try and squeeze in one over there somewhere. Something a little closer to the gate. Over there maybe. Yeah. Now a little bit of a trampoline park. Something like that. That's workable for us, I think. Something like that maybe. It's something over there. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good for now. Okay, now I'm hoping that means we're going to have power connected to everything. Or most things at least. So now this thing has power. Oh, there it goes. It's fresh water. Ah, there we go. So hopefully we'll keep an eye on that once it fills this up. We will start putting some lake things in there. So that's going to be pretty good. But this is a very nice park. We still need to put some fencing all the way around it. But yeah, let's get this thing filled up first. This pond. Lake. It's more of a lake. It's pretty huge. What is happening at the park though? Let's get the park info. We're charging a bit of money to use the park. Let's drop that to like say 5 maybe. At the same time, I'm quite keen on making sure that people can actually get into the park. So let's get a bit of a crossing going over there. That means we'll also need to run a little bit of a pathway down here. So let's see about what we can do. Let's grab a pathway. Actually, let's just do a standard one and let's make sure we not have the snapping on. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Snapping off. So if we say we're going to do something like that, it's a little funky, but at least we've got some access point to the park over here. I'm pretty keen on us running. Can I just put the Anarchy on a little bit? Pretty keen on us running something like that, so people can actually make their way to the park through there. I think this is pretty good access right there. Where over here we have pretty good access from that side. Maybe we could add a little bit of access through here. Yeah, that'll help things out a little. Maybe we'll add a little bit of access through this side. Excellent. So at least we're getting a few more people to access the park. This thing is slowly filling up, but it's taking its time. So I want that to be nice and full. There's no access actually through here to the park. So the one that is a little bit tempting to do is just to make sure that we are actually connecting from here to say there. Ooh, and now this is not actually connected here anymore. So let's get rid of that. We'll get that to tie in, and what we'll do is we'll try and run it from somewhere over there and tie it in there, so, right? Something like that, so that there's access to it also from this side. Hopefully that puts people into the park. Yeah, I'm already seeing a lot of people hanging around. Let's see the park info. How many visitors? We have 156 visitors already. We're making a decent amount of income there. Laurel Park for the moment is the name. This section here doesn't actually have power, so we could... Is it... Oh, no. It's not this section. It is the city in general is having a bit of a power shortage. Our consumption is very high at the moment. So what's happening? Did this thing drop? I think it did drop a little bit. We have a few more power places ready to go. So let's switch them on for now. But we're probably going to need a few, a nuclear reactor or two to make sure that we maintain power. So one thing that we're probably going to need is getting that nuclear reactor up and running. We are still running rolling blackouts at the moment. What kind of power are we actually using? So we've got these coal stations over here. Do we have anything else? Anything? We've got this one, the geothermal one. So let's see, what other power plants can we actually build? Let's have a look. Look, the best one is going to be the nuclear facility. But I don't want to just kind of plop a nuclear facility. I want to plan around it a little bit. It needs to be close to water and so on. We could make it the Olive Bay nuclear power plant over here. Also, we could bring it out to the edge of the map over here, which will be a little bit better. It'll be difficult to provide a direct access at the moment. But yes, I don't know why we've all of a sudden the power has just dropped completely. We don't have solar, do we? At the moment, I'm not even sure what's going on. So how much do we need? We need about 100 megawatts. What does this do? This does 640. This does 100 to 160. That can do whatever. This does 240. The solar updraft. But the solar updraft is not going to work for the moment. Or not as much. Let's build the solar updraft somewhere over here. And we'll make use of that for power at the moment. So we'll place it over there. And we'll run some power using the solar updraft. Hopefully that'll give us, even in the rainy conditions, give us a little bit more power. Look at that, interesting. Did I have any other power facilities? I'm hoping the solar updraft's going to do its trick. Everything's got power now. So if I have a look at this now we've got tons of power. Yeah, see. Interesting. So keep filling this thing up. It's taking its sweet time to fill up. So in the meantime, what I could do is I could do a bit of a fence around the facility. So we'll grab our fence. We're gonna need. So can I just switch that off? So it's not a traffic thing. So we'll do that, huh? There we go. What we'll do is we'll fence up to that one there. I like it. We'll take the fence from this side. And we'll run it along here all the way. Could probably make it a little nicer. But I think this is okay. Could make it curved a little and things like that. Get it a little bit more realistic and so on. Oh, we've got tons of people coming in the side over here. Okay. Make sure we run it nice and close there. Okay, something like that and like that. Okay, we're not going to be building on this road here. Not into the park at least. Actually, we could, but it's fine. We can do it later if we do need to do that. Okay, a bit of that. Probably a bit of this. There's actually no way of walking around there then. But there's nothing to walk from though. Aha, our park is probably just received our very first upgrade. There's a road through the park over here, so that's a good spot. If we wanted to do some sporting facilities in the park, we could do it in this area because we have road access. Hang on, oh, here it is. I was just thinking, my goodness, have we reached the end? And I didn't actually find the side gate that we had going for us over here. We need to do tons of trees and bushes and shrubbery and things like that, especially around the edges of it. Well, that's at least what I want to do. We don't have to do it, but I would want to do that. Tie those ones in there. I think we're almost all the way around now. Almost. We've got like the last bit of stretch going on over here for us. Could tie that in. These are nice and straight, so we can do pretty long runs. Like so, like so. There we go, all the way around. So we've got our fence in there. How's this thing going? We're not quite there yet. It still needs to fill up significantly. Then we'll have some of these gazebos that's out on the water and so on. It's been raining for this entire episode. But we're getting close towards the end of it now. I like the paths with that. Why are we struggling so much with garbage collection in this area? Probably need some more garbage collection. Let's quickly see about plopping in one or two of these. What is this? Floating garbage collector. Lessens the water pollution. We don't actually have that. Waste to energy, energy incineration. We could do something like that over here. Garbage capacity, yeah, something like this is a bit extreme. It's not actually going to fit into this area at all. What is that? Large incineration plant. That one's going to fit in here a little bit better, but that one has a bit of a pollution ring around it that I'm not quite comfortable with. So maybe something like that. It's a little bit close to those residential facilities there. Alternatively, we could squeeze it in like here somewhere. We could definitely squeeze it in somewhere like this. Oh, I've got that mod running saying that we're not actually using separate facilities for things. So I could squeeze it in here. Though this is this is our water. Can't do that. Can't do that at all. So where will we do this though? Is there anything else? Maybe we should just do some of these large ones like this. Maybe that's rather what we're after. We don't want to spoil the oil facilities. What we could do is we could BTB recycle center. Slope is too steep. Slope is too steep. Okay, grab it. What is that? That's just a public landfill. Nice. A public landfill. Let's just grab one of these kind of little roads here. We'll run it. Well, let's run it from that side. No, not that. Like not like that. We'll run. Okay, look, something like this, right? And then we'll see if we can't squeeze in one more of these facilities, at least some kind of facility. That's too steep, not grabbing it at all. This one, that's too big. So maybe just something like this. Plop it in there. That's going to be some stuff at least, so that'll help out a little bit in this area. Let's just say all districts from there, please, so that it makes use of whatever is closest to it. Let's see how this is going. Are we almost filled up over here, or we still have tons to go? Luckily, I kind of halved it in depth because, geez, this is already taking ages to get there. Okay, let's have a quick look at some trees. What kind of trees? Let's grab some of these. And I'm tempted to fill in a little bit more. One or two big ones. I want a few big trees in a few locations, something like that. Yeah, I want it to be nice and park-like. These are pines, sugar maples. They're a little small, aren't they? Yeah. These are all pretty small. Let's say a bit of a hardwood. Some hardwood trees. A few. Yeah, a few spots like that. Something like that. Blue gum. Got a ton of these from the acid stuff, right? That's pretty small trees though. Anything more sizable? A giant pine? Doesn't seem... That's probably not the giant pines. So there's a few spots of... trees in there. We could probably do with some more, to be honest. My textures aren't too great over here, are they? They're okay, but they're not great. Let's add a few in here. Some giant pines. Just give it a little bit of a better feel, like a park. We probably need to fill it in a little bit more. Probably need some... so this is just a small tree cluster, so probably some tree clusters like this could work a little bit. Maybe spot 1 or 2 big trees in the middle. Especially around this thing that we just want to cover a little. Yeah, something like that. Actually, we probably need to fill in this entire area. And then what we'll do is we'll take a handful of big trees and plop them in the middle of it. So if we do this thing over here, and if we now do some of these big trees, just a few individually, okay, and we probably need to do a few other ones, maybe like a giant pine here and there and almost everywhere, something like that. Yeah, how does that look? Looks okay, maybe a bit more of a cluster of big trees in the middle there. Something like that. That looks pretty good. We can fill in more of this afterwards. Is this thing almost full? No, not quite yet. We're making a ton of money now. We don't have anybody wanting to move in at the moment. So all of our residential areas, I'm guessing, is stagnating a little bit. So what we could do is we could actually just up that demand a little and fix it so that we see about getting people to actually move in. This building, I think, has also been burnt a few times now. Is there any kind of fire truck making their way over here to deal with it? I'm wondering a little bit about that. Is this area, well, it's not a district, so I'm kind of wondering whether we have fire trucks that'll actually cover this area if it's not a district. I think we have one. Yeah, that's one coming this way. So fire coverage over here is not great. It's clear to me that that's not perfect. I like the new park. It needs a little bit more kind of detailing. Like I said, you know, I'm not not big on detailing, but a little bit more in terms of detailing, rough detailing around here, just to make it look a little bit better. So that's good. Just like so, it looks like a park if you look from the top into the CBD area with the park over there. That's pretty good all around. Eventually, I also want to kind of make these green spaces look nice with all of these open spaces. Have that look a little bit better, like over here. Maybe tree line the area a little bit. So something like let me quickly run something through here a little bit to show you what I kind of have in mind. I don't want it to be perfect or anything like that, but what I'm keen on us doing is getting it to look like nice green spaces at least. So the giant pines are going to be a little bit too big. These ones could actually work a little bit. So if we do a smallish area like that and we kind of like fill it in with some pines, that's not really filling it in dense enough, to be honest. That's really not filling that in a lot, but this is kind of what I have in mind. Something like this. We probably need to maybe plop in some more of these. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be more the look that we're going for. So if we say we've got these kind of roads roadside tree section. So look at that. How does that look? In terms of an open space like this, from the top it looks a little bit funny, but if you go through here, you're in the city, but it almost feels like you're not, yeah? So there's a number of cities around the world that actually make use of this kind of technique to make sure that the city looks and feels desirable. Okay, some of the places like Singapore and so on. So we do a bit of a tree-lined road section over here, but we could also do a little bit better than just doing tree-lined roads. Okay, so something like that. Okay, and we'll keep going, keep that going around there. And we'll keep this going over there, right? So, ooh, big building, but so that, how does that look, right? So that looks pretty good as a road. If you're kind of driving down this road, it looks pretty decent, huh? Pretty decent, not bad at all. So like for a big CBD. So what we'll do is we'll do the other one at some point as well. See about filling in park area a little bit more. This thing is still not quite there yet. But what I'll do is I'll finish that off either in the next episode or in between episodes, and yes, then we'll continue and see how further we fill this in. But the park is looking is a good starting point for now. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you've liked it, hit the button, leave some comments down below. Also, please tell me what you think this city should be called, and yes, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.